Hi Aquarius, welcome to your March 2022 general love reading. This is your girl Mermaid Scales Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a general love reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Aquarius. This will not resonate with every Aquarius that watches this message, and because this reading is general, not every single message may be for you, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else who needs to hear that message. And if this reading is not for you at all, Aquarius, I highly suggest checking out your other signs and different placements. Hi, cross watchers, you're very welcome here if you're interested in Aquarius. Who wouldn't be? I like to remind Aquarius and cross watchers that energy is fluid. This simply means you may feel like I'm describing a certain situation in the reading where you feel the roles are flipped or reversed, and that's completely okay. You are more than welcome to use your own discretion to flip those roles if that resonates with your specific situation the best. Alright Aquarius, let's go ahead and get this reading started. I will be using my sound bowl to clear and set the energy, so if you are listening to this using headphones or the volume is kind of loud right now, I do suggest turning it down a little bit just for this part because I don't want your ears to hurt. So let's get this going. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's happening in the month of March in love and romance for my Aquariuses, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, or anyone dealing with an Aquarius. What is the energy surrounding the Aquarius for March? Ooh, okay. Forgiving and learning. Okay, you know what was funny? I kind of stumbled, as some of you may notice, and I heard say what you mean and then mean what you say. So, you know, Aquarius, I feel that someone thought they could have it their way. Someone thought that they could have the situation turn out exactly what they wanted. It didn't work out well. And then the letter W is really sticking out to me. First, middle, last, initial can mean something to someone. But Aquarius, I feel someone is going to ask you for your forgiveness, want to offer you an apology. I don't know. It's like almost as if they're seeing how much they lost from the situation. They thought they were doing the right thing. They thought they were playing this game right, and they lost big time. And I feel they're hoping not everything is lost between the two of you and that there's something that could be healed in this. And it says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I'm going to go ahead and get another card, see what else is going through. Tell me more about this. Ooh. Love yourself first. Whoa, okay. So, yeah, Aquarius, this is kind of almost like if you guys saw my last reading that I did for you guys at the end of February, these are like the similar people I'm picking up on. You did not give in to this person. You stood your ground. You realized when you were being taken advantage of. You didn't let this person walk all over you or run the show like they usually do. This is someone who's always in and out of your life. You know they're leaving, they ghost, or they just don't reply to your messages, and you just know deep down they're going to come back one day. And I think you played their game on them, and not in a way to just play tit for tat and be petty, but I feel the last thing they sent you, the last message, the last call, you ignored it, you haven't replied, and it's got them a bit messed up in some ways. They kind of realize they messed up big time, is what I get, and that's why they're going to kind of try to come back and either explain themselves. I don't know though. When they explain themselves, I almost feel like they want to give you an excuse. But there are no excuses, or they've used up every single excuse they've tried to make thus far. They're realizing either you come in my life and you stay and you provide meaning, or once you walk out, that door is going to be shut, locked, and don't let it hit you on your way out, right? So interesting. Let's go ahead and get some tarot into this. So with the tarot, I'm going to ask, how do they feel about you right now? What do they think about you? What do they like about you? What do they not like about you? What do they like about the connection they have with you currently, and what do they not like about it? And what are their highest hopes and deepest fears in regards to this connection with you? Now, it's kind of almost the energy I'm getting is similar to Scorpios, but in different timelines. Like Scorpios was where this person was like realizing that what they did, or realizing they have to let go of the situation in order to, you know, surrender their ego. This person is really realizing that everything they have done up to this point is no longer valid and is not going to fly by with you. Let's keep going before I say more. Wow. Okay. Aquarius, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Ooh, okay. Taurus energy, also Capricorn energy for me as a reader personally. You know, a couple different messages for different groups of you. For some of you, I feel like the problem here in this whole connection you've had with this person was commitment, was staying through on something, was, again, like I heard before I even pulled the cards out, say what you mean and mean what you say. I almost feel like, you know, you felt like you were going against your own morals to make this work with this person. And with the Hierophant, I also feel that someone went to like a mentor or a counselor or a friend to get a better perspective on what's going on in someone's love life, because the other person kept on leaving them guessing, leaving them questioning themselves, or even to a certain point gaslighting. You know, when you felt like they were up to no good, or they weren't being honest, or, you know, they tried to play a certain situation, they always wanted to talk out of it. But I think you see this from a higher perspective now, Aquarius. Others of you, you may have been in a relationship with this person very briefly. I feel briefly because, you know, something made them back out last minute, or like you were connecting, you were talking, and then, you know, they felt like they had to ask you out in order to keep you involved in this connection. But then, you know, it kind of ended just as quickly as it started for some of you, like only a few weeks, a few months, maybe at most. But I feel with this Hierophant card, for most of you, you're really seeing the truth of this situation, about how it makes you feel, and if it's in alignment with you and what you want anymore. The person and the energy that they're in is not what you want. And so I feel that a lot of you are moving towards or attracting things that are more in alignment with you, and this person didn't make the cut. You kind of figured out that they weren't willing to step up. They weren't willing to follow through. They weren't willing to be truthful to their word. And I think that's where you, maybe even some of you, moved on to a different person. And if you have recently gotten into a new relationship, this person's messed up by it. They can't believe you actually did move on and did have a, you know, relationship with someone else. Well, what did they expect? All right, Aquarius, let's get right on into this. How they feel about you is the King of Swords in reverse, or how they feel about the situation, let's just say. Aquarius energy. Some of you could possibly be dealing with another Aquarius, or someone with Aquarius in their big three, Venus, whatever, right? But, you know, like, they really are seeing, I feel with this, that they can't lie to you anymore. They can't fool you anymore. And that actually you're pretty pissed. You're pissed at them. You're pissed at, you know, what they put you through. You're pissed at the fact that, you know, maybe you even feel like you have blamed yourselves for keeping up with this for too long. and that you're not willing to work this out. You're not willing to compromise it. Again, I feel it's because you've recently ignored them. And for some of you, I almost feel like they called you, and then like when you didn't answer or you didn't call back, they try to use the excuse of saying it was like a pocket dial or a butt dial. But let me tell you something, it was definitely to see if you would answer, and instead of saying, oh, you know, Aquarius doesn't want to talk to me, they want to make it look like it was an accident. Okay. Sorry, I just feel your sense of frustration. I also get that, you know, even for some of you, again, there's maybe this anger towards you that is ungrounded and unfounded. And they're not being logical, they're not being reasonable. And I also feel that if they try to apologize, or if they have already and you didn't accept it, they're just in a huff. And I even feel like they've been telling other people a certain situation, a story of why you guys broke up or why you're not talking, that is completely untrue. This person has a problem speaking the truth. Or it's like, you know, this is the type of person where if they don't want to admit when they were wrong, they make up a certain situation that never happened, or they simply say things like, oh, I don't remember that. Well, that's convenient, right? But this is interesting. Now, what they think about the situation, think about you, is the Ten of Cups. Now, for those of you who have moved on to someone else or are dating other people, they think you've moved on into this, especially if you've been posting about it or posted like a recent picture of you two, whether it was like making it official or just showing that you're hanging out with this person. They're afraid that you're happier with this newer person. And for others of you, this is where they know they blew it. That you could have given them everything to make them happy. Yet they didn't know how to handle that love. They didn't know what to do with the love you were giving it to them. And if those of you that have kids with this person, I think they still think there's a way into your life for the fact that you have kids with one another. And that they can use that to their advantage too. And I almost want to say be careful if they try to use the whole you're ripping our family apart type of card. But let's be real with this. What really did break up the situation, right? But now they're really realizing that with the Ten of Cups here, they kind of destroyed what could have transpired between the two of you. And honestly, you've been in their mind and on their mind a lot lately, late at night. And they're thinking how they messed all this up, how they're not going to have this again, the emotional fulfillment you provided them. Interesting. What they like the most about you is the Devil card. Capricorn energy. Okay, a couple different messages here for this position of this card. For some of you, for a while, they seem to think that the situation was in their control. That you were easily controllable, easily manipulated, and that they could have their cake and eat it too with you. Maybe there was other people that were involved in this situation. I almost feel for some of you, there was a question about having a three-way that they try to pressure you with. Not for everyone. But, you know, for others of you, if that's not so much the case, what I feel with this is that there's something that they find so addicting about this connection. That they always come back to you. There's always something that they crave out of this with you, whether it is just taking your supply, or if it is just, you know, the Devil card tells me a lot about the sexual relationship between the two of you. It was very strong. Maybe the sexual connection and the sexual chemistry you guys shared is what really linked this, more so than the trust and the care of it all. You were the best in bed they've ever had. and they still come back hoping they could get another taste with the devil. But it is a bit self-motivated. Now, also with this position of the devil, what they like the most about you, they could find you incredibly sexy, great in bed. It's all kind of, you know, surface level type of things. I also feel with this that for a while, like, the toxic essence of this connection was allowed for so long. And that both of you, even though you know it's not good for one another, you still kept this up despite the toxic energy around it all. And maybe for someone out there, there was some sort of trauma bond between the two of you. And, you know, this person, weirdly enough, they have problems with commitment. They can do whatever the heck they wanted. But if they saw you go out with certain people dressed a certain way, in a very sexy way, and you're not hanging out with them, they were all up in your messages like, what are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you going? Why are you going out that late? Okay. What they don't like about you, Aquarius, Six of Swords, Aquarius energy. Mentally, you're detaching. Mentally, you're moving forward and moving on. Even with other people, having conversations with other people to get out of this. Even for some of you, I wonder if I'm picking up this friend energy. I wonder if some of you have moved on to their friend. Not for everyone, but for someone there. Or you've kind of like told people, their family members, their friends, or just people in general about the situation of why you had to leave this. And maybe the truth behind it all. That you had to leave, you had to pull away for your own good. To get into a better place. Because being around this person was draining you. It was taking from you your mental peace and your mental stability. Some of you even moved away from the city you were in, where you met this person, hung out with this person, to somewhere else. Now, what they like the most about this connection, the Lovers. Now, there are 2 6s here. Some of your birthdays could be February 6th, February 16th, perhaps January 26th for someone out there. I feel with this card differently than, you know, soulmates, twin flames. It's more of they always feel like you're, no matter what, you guys are always going to be bonded to one another through the experiences you had. For the amount of time you guys have had this on and off thing going on, there's always going to be that knowledge or that understanding between the two of you that you both have been through something and have something with each other that you're not going to find in anyone else. That's their idea, whether it's true or not. That's how they see it. And that even eventually, even if you're holding out now, you guys are going to get back somehow, some way, because of you guys are just drawn towards each other. It's always been the case. Why would it be any different? So that's why with this forgiving and learning, I almost want to say, like, make sure this apology isn't like a desperate attempt. Make sure if you do hear them out, it's legitimate. And you guys know this person from the back of your hand, blindfolded. Okay? You can tell when this person is just playing and when they're being honest. And, you know, despite what their idea of love is or how they love and, you know, the corruption of it maybe, they kind of feel out of anyone they've interacted with, hooked up with, been in a connection with, the bond you two have is the strongest out of them all. But again, I think there's a lot of pain or trauma or wounds around how they give and receive love. But with you, by far, there is something more significant than anyone else they've done this to. If that means anything to you or not, I don't know. What they don't like about the connection, 9 of Swords, Gemini energy. They're worried sick now, Or you know what? They have a lot of thoughts about this. They've been having trouble sleeping. They've been obsessing. They've been worrying. And again, I would have to sit with this for a little longer to see if it's out of their own satisfaction or out of the fact they think they're losing this fight. I think that, you know, they don't want to show you how much they've been worried about this or how much they actually do care. Because in their way, you know, being that detached, nonchalant, I don't give a type of thing, they thought for some reason that's what reeled you in. And maybe it did in the past, but it's not now. So their strategies aren't working. And I definitely feel for some reason like late at night, I don't know if that's when you guys would talk. That's when they would text. I don't know if it was a booty call thing, but it's like they've been thinking about you a lot late at night now that they don't have you around. That's not the same. And they're worried if it's just never going to transpire again between the two of you. They're worried that they played this all wrong, and maybe they should be. But they liked, or their highest hopes in this connection is the Eight of Wands, Sagittarius energy, the passion, the excitement, the lust, and the drive that was once there that always pulled you two together would just somehow reoccur again and just take off again from this really low point to reaching another level back to the high point they had with you. They hope that they can message you, text you, and that you'll reply, or that you'll reply soon if it has been a question of you not responding yet. They're hoping you'll give them that call back, that message back, that you'll hear them out. You know, I think they want for this to have another round, have another cycle. But, you know, more than sometimes I feel with the Eight of Wands is like going the distance. I feel like they're just hoping you'll reach back out again. Maybe through electronically, especially if you guys live at a distance from one another now. That call back, that text back, they've been checking their phone. They've been trying to put it on silent or face it down because they're anxious and worried that you're just not going to give them an inch of your attention again. And if you do live far away from each other, they're hoping they can come see you for a weekend, for a trip. But deepest fears is the Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. You're not going to open up again. You'll never open up again. You'll not trust this person. You'll be suspicious. You'll see no value in giving any more to this than you already have. And that this is done for good. And that they'll have to live with their own knowledge of being alone. Really alone now without you. And having to suffer the consequences for it. Damn. All right, Aquarius, we're going to go ahead and take this to Vimeo for the extended reading. We're going to see what they're likely to do about this. Will they give you their apology? Are they going through an awakening where they're going to change, or is it going to remain the same if you give them a chance? We're going to go ahead and take this to the extended reading. If you'd like to join the extended reading, open up the description box and you'll find the link to Vimeo, which will take you to the extended reading. I'm going to overturn this card here to show you what they're likely to do by the end of March, what they're planning on doing. And I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well to dive deeper into this connection for you. But if this is where you depart, Aquarius, I really hope that this has been giving you clarity, insight, healing, and guidance in regards to what's going on in your love life, in regards to what's going on with this person. And if it has, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Aquarius, very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Aquarius.